is a tradition that honestly is impressive, and this is going to be an impressive event that you're about ready to witness.
We got RZA on College Details from
RZA
from Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, you know, as I said earlier, they took a lot of credit for that 29-point comeback, but if I'm not mistaken, Fat Joe said that there's a lot of entertainment in different floats. It looks like he's giving a concert right now, as you can see to the back of Karl Anthony Towns. So the parade route is going to be littered with entertainment out there, different acts floating by. Should be a great time out there.
Yeah, it looks like some folks are maybe throwing up some T-shirts for the players to sign there. But getting back to Fat Joe, I saw a post of him. I can't remember where the game was being played, but he was shooting some free throws. Fat Joe was over there doing some kind of he was how it worked, and he was going to be doing that dance from now on. But so many just memorable moments here as we continue to look here at live pictures from the Canyon of Heroes as we are ready to get this parade started. And we have a team of reporters here to give you every angle of these buses and these floats and these players and the coaches and some other legendary Knicks players will be making their way to mingle with the fans. This is really something that parents are bringing their children to. There he is. Oh, does not disappoint with the outfit.
And that's tame. That's tame today. He brings it, man. I like it. Yes, sir.
All right, and that's the lead car that is going to begin this parade for our New York Knicks, who finally brought home an NBA champion after 53 years. Alan Devlin, right there in front of that car. Alan, let's get this thing started.
You want the epitome of smooth, you are looking at it right here. This is honestly a man that is synonymous with the New York Knicks. He is the New York Knicks, honestly. And he is sitting, of course, in this beautiful Chrysler that Steve Obermeyer gave us a wonderful introduction to earlier in the show. He's going to be one of the lead cars in this parade. And we knew he was coming. His name's painted right there on the side of the car. Mr. Man to win. Otis said the outfit is tame today. He's absolutely right, because one of the first things I was looking for was going to be a suit, bright orange, neon colors, whatever it is. He's still got the paint hoodie on. Unlike him. But I'll tell you what, he said, you know what, this isn't about me. This is about the 2026 Knicks. So I'm gonna cool it down. I'm gonna ride in the car with my name on it, but I'm gonna make sure it stays about those guys that got it done in this playoff run. But yeah, no, when you think about the 70s, when you think about what this man was able to do.
In a quarter mile turn left on Elmhurst Avenue.
I think every Knicks fan across the country, here in New York as well, believes that same thing. So yeah, KJ, I want this thing to get started just as much as you do. I just spoke to the NYPD. I asked, look, when are we going to rock and roll with this? And they said, I don't know. They're trying to find out themselves because they're on Knicks time. Yeah, exactly. They're on Knicks time right now. Everybody is on Knicks time. We're not doing school. We're not doing work. We're doing Knicks right now. And so, honestly, the team, Mike Brown, Nolan, they're the ones that are going to decide exactly when we get this thing rolling. But we are continuing to wait on when it's going to start. But Frazier getting in this car, Clyde the Glide getting in this car right here is a good sign. That does mean that they are getting ready to start this. When I look off to the other side over here and I'm looking at the beginning of this parade, KJ Otis is still no motion up front. So we have officially not started yet, I can tell you that. And that's just from line of sight from what I'm looking at. But we're getting there. We're getting closer.
And you know, you're talking about Clyde wanted to make it all about the players, all about the organization. You know, I got to interview him after one of the games in San Antonio, and he talked about being a proud grandfather. That's what he said. He said he's excited. And, yes, he's the downs, the ends, the retreat, all those things that happened from the season. He was so
left on 93rd Street.
Yeah. He'll tell you what he did. He'll let you know about the 36.
And how he gives back to the community. We just did a story, and it was 2 days ago, where there was a girls' high school basketball team that brought a championship back to their school in almost
Turn left on 93rd Street.
Oh, no.
I thought it was maybe over a century, but he was there.
Yeah.
He was there to help them celebrate, and basically gave them some great advice. He said something to the effect of, it doesn't matter who scores the basket as long as his team scores.
I made a phone call to Long Island University. I have to speak to graduation.
Wow.
They all said he was fat.
Yeah.
So that's unique.
In a quarter mile, pick up Prakash on the left.
And that's
It's a touch thing. It's, when you have all that connection with the Knicks videos to greatness, to the team in the past that, won that title. And now, look at him. He's here and he's enjoying it as well. Yep.
and a true character of what a champion should be, for sure.
Almost. Right? That's right. I had a bear.
Didn't have a bear. The suede ones, I remember when those came out.
Yep.
But yeah, so he'll be in honor of being in the lead car here. In a full circle moment, I'm sure, for Mr. Davis there. Is that his wife there with him, guys? I'm assuming. To be able to take part in this. And I love seeing the families that are joining the players and the coaching staff and the other staff members, because there's so much time spent away from your family during these seasons. And I'm sure that you could talk a lot about this, and that is, but when you have this result right now, to be able to then celebrate with them.
Success is a sacrifice.
Yeah. And when a guy gets traded, like Jose Alvarado, we talked about that with wife, partner, they have to make arrangements. They have to, they have to pick up and get moving, So they're instrumental in this. They have to enable the players to keep their sanity without having to worry about that type of stuff. So there's vital parts all around.
Pick up Prakash on the left.
The partners, the husbands, wives. I mean, it's truly remarkable.
All right, it looks as though we have some movement there by the NYPD. And, oh man, we're getting this parade started now. It is now 10:32 on a historic day here in New York City, as this parade for our New York Knicks champions is now underway. Alan, here we go.
Here we go. 32 minutes, not that bad, I think if you bet the over, you're in a good place right now. But we are getting started. The parade has officially begun. We've got motion, and we are away. Here we go. Of course, led by Knicks legend Walt Frazier, just passed right by us there. The rest of the Knicks are going to be moving this direction here shortly on their buses, and you all are going to get to see it all right here on CBS News New York. The crowd is coming alive. Everybody.
No, we're not jealous of you guys by any means, but you guys have to see them. So Elijah, thank you so much. And if you had to give a big message to any Knicks fans, what would you say?
I say, just keep on believing, man. We're going to repeat next year. We're going to repeat the next year after that. We're a good team now. We're finally out the dark ages. Man, we have something to celebrate. We have something to cheer for. Just keep on cheering. Keep on being a fan.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Elijah. And back to you, Larry and Juliet.
Hey, Amanda, before you get away, and I want to say to everybody, Amanda is one of the newest members of our recording unit here at 1010 West.
Oh, Larry.
This is the first for you to end up with this assignment in this historic occasion. What's racing through your mind right now? Did you pull the short straw or what, kid?
But you know what? I will definitely say all the times I've heard my dad screaming in our living room, let's go, Knicks, let's do something. It's a full circle moment for me. I've got to grow up being a huge Knicks fan and go into some of the games. You can hear it in my voice. The guy she just interviewed, I think those are the quotes of the day. I ain't seen nothing. And also, they're going to repeat. That is looking forward. They're going to repeat.
And our coverage of the parade and the ceremonies are proudly sponsored by Calci, Trade Anything, and by LifePack, the #1 soaking rescue device. You are listening to 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Meanwhile, let's give you a check of your traffic and transit. Over to Karen Stewart. We're going to check out some river crossings. The inbound GW Bridge, 15 to 20 for both levels. If you're traveling outbound, it's 35. Now, don't be afraid that members from the Cross Bronx will be just going to bypass the Cross Bronx approach to the outbound George and take the Henry Hudson Parkway. You can try the Harlem River Drive, but there are delays to the 160s on your way to the outbound GW Bridge. And why sit in that when the Henry Hudson has nothing? The inbound side of the Lincoln is 30. The inbound side of the Holland is about 35 to 40 minutes. Now, mass transit is doing pretty well. We got a whole bunch of people into downtown earlier with really very little hiccups. LARR trains, they're running on revised schedules to allow for extra service to the U.S. Open. Don't forget about the U.S. Open. That's happening in Shinnecock Hills. The roads leading out into Shinnecock Hills are in very good condition. We look great right now in Southampton on Sunrise Highway and on Montauk Highway. No major problems there. And if you're traveling the Port Jefferson branch of the LARR, buses replacing Huntington to Port Jefferson. Track work, it goes on till 3:30. No, it goes on till 3:15 this afternoon. Sponsored by St. Joseph and Nursing Rehabilitation Center. Aaron Stewart, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Time now for today's.
Let's get a check now of our 1010 Wins AccuWeather forecast. And here's Gary Schwindenhammer.
It's going to be a windy, warm, and more humid day today. We had one batch of showers move on through already. Another one probably headed our way around noontime. Could be a thunderstorm later this afternoon, and any thunderstorm could be heavy and gusty. The high about 86 degrees. We'll have some clouds and even a lingering shower in spots for tonight, especially south of the city. A low 69. Less humid for tomorrow. And low clouds and sun along with a gusty breeze, a high 82. Not a bad day setting up for Saturday. Sunshine and a few clouds, breezy, and also relatively nice in the afternoon, especially toward Long Island, a high 80 degrees. It'll be nice on Father's Day. Sunshine and a few more afternoon clouds, the high 83. Right now we're at 74. A couple of showers in the area, but right now trying to see some sun as well. Humidity 81%. The wind south gusting around 30. It's 74, going up to 86 in Midtown. I'm Kerry Schwindenhammer on New York's weather station. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
And our coverage of the Knicks ticker tape parade and celebration at City Hall coming back in just a moment. Now this message, Calci congratulates the New York basketball champions. Calci, trade on anything.
1010 Wins coverage of the New York Knicks parade up the Canyon of Heroes will return in a moment.
You matter, and so does your well-being. If you're facing tough moments, struggling with anxiety, depression, thoughts of suicide, or substance use, help is here anytime you need it. Call, text, or chat 988 for free confidential support. New Jersey's 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here 24/7 for you or someone you love, with trained counselors who listen and care without judgment. You matter. Remember New Jersey's 988. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
I'm a dog, and my job is to make you happy. So I recommend Optimum Fiber for your home. It's famously fast, way better than flaky 5G home internet, which can slow down the more people or dogs are online. So switch to Optimum Fiber, starting at only $25 a month with a 5-year price lock. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. That's 888-4-OPTIMUM. Gus, fresh. I gotta take that. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Wesley Financial. Pinterest is looking to fight increasing AI slop with the help of Amazon Cloud Services. Pinterest announced a $4 billion deal with Amazon Web Services to modernize the social media platform, with Pinterest saying it's addressing complaints of AI-generated slop. Pinterest says curators are suffering from frequently hacked accounts, with automated bots initiating false suspensions for spam violations. I'm Jason Brooks.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Hey, healthcare workers of New York, are you looking to make a difference? St. Joseph and Ann Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is actively hiring nurses and CNAs. Call 718-714-4800. That's 718-714-4800. New York City is celebrating the New York Knicks and their first ever ticker tape parade. Our Juliet Pop, Larry Mullen, well, they're down now at City Hall in the middle of all the festivities, and they join us now. That's right. And Rick Casali still going at it here. I feel like I'm the open air Madison Square Garden, right? But it really feels like you're there.
It really does.
You know, I mean, I don't see any, basketball nets up here or anything like that, or the hoops. But the players are arriving. They are going to come off the slopes. They're going to go into City Hall. I think they're going to have a little reception. We've already been seeing Larry, or hearing that on these slopes, you just saw Mayor Mamdani and Governor Hochul, and they'll be here at City Hall at the Plaza. And Martha Stewart, Ben Stiller, Spike Lee. This is really the celebrity roll call.
The diehards. As a matter of fact, many of these people, the biggest fans, like Spike, I hear there's a thing that's trending right now online where they're trying to get him a ring as well for somebody who has supported the Knicks from day one.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that comes. It's been a petition about it. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we'll keep you posted on that one. But if anybody tries to get one also, I'm going to try and have one. Brian got one already.
Yeah. Doesn't he have a couple? Doesn't he have 70 and 73?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. But so, it's
And he never had a parade.
There you go. There you go.
He's been having a great old time. We're capturing glimpses of him.
Yeah.
And he's in a vehicle. And it looks great. In fact, the mayor and the governor were with OG. So, I mean, you can't get better than that. It really towers over everybody, right? So, with that play, that tip in to that basket, that 1 point win, you're jumping out of your seat.
The only thing, though, he was on Michael and George and Robin, Good Morning America show the other day. They're trying to get this guy to smile, right?
Yes.
He'll go, oh, it's exciting, but you can't see it in his countenance.
And he says, I'm happy.
I know. But I love OG. I love this kid.
He said, look at mixing dancers.
Yeah.
And they're along the route. They're doing their routines here on the street. So everybody who's fortunate enough to get along the way, and we're seeing all this action. We're going to have to listen to it. We're awesome. And actually, the song right now here is "We Are Family."
Definitely
that
today.
Really is, the city has been so united under this. People are actually still standing up. There are seats here on City Hall Plaza, and people are still standing up because they're waiting for them to come in, and then they'll take a seat for the ceremony.
All right, and we're going to take a break and come back for our continuing coverage. Sponsored by Calci, Trade Anything, and by LifeVac, the #1 soaking rescue device. You're listening to Spin Wins on 92.3 FM. Congratulations to New York on the championship. You saw the best saves of the game on the court. Now get the ultimate save for your home with LifeVac, the clinically proven airway clearance device. Go to lifevac.net today and use code radio to save 10%.
The best choice to shake up Washington? Kate Conley. She's a fourth-generation Hudson Valley fighter, West Point grad, Army combat veteran, one of the first women in special ops leadership. She's got the values and backbone to end the chaos, lower costs, stop ISIS abuses, deliver without drama, all in a day's work. Complete the mission. Kate Conley for Congress by June 23rd. Paid for by AFT Solidarity, AFT.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AFT Solidarity is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The thrills never stop at Empire City Casino. You can win big with non-stop action, including electronic table games and over 4,400 of the hottest slots. Indulge in one-of-a-kind flavors at our amazing restaurants. Spin and win cash, free play, and unforgettable trips. This is your chance to drive away in a brand new car during our monthly giveaways. More play, more perks. Earn it all here with MGM Rewards, only at Empire City Casino. Ride the thrill. Must be 18 years of age or older to play New York lottery games. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 to join MGM Rewards.
Your city, your news, your station, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 wins on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. It's 73 degrees. We've got cloudy skies in Manhattan at 11:20. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. A parade of champions. The celebration for your New York Knicks underway in Lower Manhattan. Jalen Brunson just going by on a float with his dad and his family. And on the parade route, we're seeing signs that say, "Thank you, fans." And some of the biggest celebrity fans are on the float soon. Marcia Hargitay, Ben Stiller, of course, Spike Lee. We saw the mayor and the governor, too. We're broadcasting live from all the fun, joining our Larry Mullins and Julia Papa next. The Knicks will then receive the key to the city at a ceremony there at City Hall. And we've got word that the celebrations will continue after today for the Knicks. They accepted an invitation to the White House. And a reminder, there's very limited subway service in Lower Manhattan because of the celebration. Trains are skipping most stops below Canal Street. Says I'm going to ask you weather. Cloudy right now, and it's going to be humid today, but we might get spared any more sprinkles or showers for the rest of the morning. We get to a high of 86 in the city. And now let's get you the latest on traffic and transit and try to get you where you need to go. Here's Karen Stewart. Did you drive in today? Well, there are things that you need to know if you are driving around. Parking is prohibited south of Canal Street. Vehicles left south of Canal are going to be towed. Again, the city-bound Brooklyn Bridge remains closed. The walkway is open, but the bridge is closed to vehicular traffic. The FDR Drive and the West Side Highway remain open. Local streets, though, and the street exits, I should say, south of Canal, are closed. As far as mass transit goes, you heard a mention about the possibility of some delays getting out to City Hall and Wall Street. Well, you don't have to worry about delays getting there because those subway stations are closed. They close them at 4:30, and we don't know exactly when they will reopen, but you're going to keep it locked to 1010 wins. For traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. And you'll know just when we do. Use these stations to get around. Bowling Green is available, Fulton Street, Brooklyn Bridge, City Hall, Chambers, and Park Place. And if you are going to the U.S. Open on Long Island, things are in good shape right now on the LIRR and all service on the roads out into Southampton. We're sponsored by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. A reminder from the Port Authority, whether you're headed to the World Cup or just trying to get home, expect heavy traffic delays crossing the Hudson River this summer. Get yourself extra travel time on Match Days. Karen Stewart, 1010 92.3 FM. It's just a joyous day in New York City. The celebration for the New York Knicks, their first ever ticker tape parade. It's bringing fans, New Yorkers all together in Lower Manhattan. Our Julia Papa and Larry Mullins are there in the middle of all the fun.
Hey, Linda, they are starting to fill in the spaces here at City Hall where we are first, and an announcement was just made for people to start to begin to take their seats. That tells us then that the parade that we have been watching through the monitors and that people have been watching at home on their monitors as well is close to here. And that's when the players will disembark the floats and all of their family members and everybody else will fill in these places. And the program will begin. Of course, they'll be presenting them with the keys to the city, and then we'll have performances from Alicia Keys and so many others. Real quick, I want to check in with Amanda Alexander, and then we're going to talk some more about what's happening here, what's about to happen here. Amanda, are you there? And you want to come in quickly before all this begins?
Hey, Larry, yeah. Are you guys going to have time for me here? Yes. If you hear that, it is almost silence. That's what it sounds like walking across the way from the parade. What most people are doing now is start backing up. And there goes a car. I'm here on Albany in Washington right now where fans are starting to back into local bars and restaurants. I mean, Larry, you make sure there's a massive parade. Millions are likely here, so I imagine food is the only thing on everyone's mind. But what's interesting is you can tell who's in this fan is just the parade and the ones that are likely off to work, meaning if you're not in orange and blue right now, you are likely picking out. Reporting live in front of one of the cars, Amanda Alexander, 1010 Minimum. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Amanda. We're very, very loud. It was quiet when we went through it before. She said they were thinning out. Yeah. Apparently, they beefed back up
up ahead.
Never mind, because they want to hang in there. I just want to set the scene for everybody right now. So City Hall, this beautiful, majestic white building, white marble and granite, it is actually gorgeous, as I described earlier, like a wedding cake. It goes up in tiers, and then they have the beautiful cupola. So everything now decked out in the orange and the blue, and the stage is in the front. So we have the podium for the mayor, and alongside is a table where the keys to the city are, and they will be presented to each of the players. This is a brand new key, redesigned by the Mamdani administration. It does not have a city seal on it, but it does have his name, and it has the New York logo, and then it also has leaves. And he said he wanted it to be a very diverse looking key, Florentine, and they each will get it in their own set, a set like a case. Actually beautiful, plain, simple, and memorable. I think, Larry, it's the ultimate honor to be getting that key to the city. That is it. That means you're serving the city. That means you're iconic. And that means, like, there's nobody else like you.
These guys deserve it. They absolutely deserve it.
Let's check in with Mac Rosenberg and see what's happening along the way. Mac?
Juliet, here on Church Street, people are starting to make their way north. It's kind of like our own little side parade here. And I'm standing here with Noah, who's been taking it all in with me here. Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I heard somebody else. Sorry. Noah, what's the feeling like being here on this day?
It's great. It's electric. You know, everybody's outside. Everybody's moving and doing it. It's like vibration down and it's wild. All time everybody feels it. Everybody feels like so excited. It's fun. You only did that in New York, so I mean,
absolutely. And the fact we couldn't even see the parade, but still we have our own little party on Church Street going on, right?
Yeah, there's so many people, like people standing on top of garbage trucks and tree lamps and trying to see the parade. So everyone here is just out here having a good time.
Yeah, Noah, thanks a lot. Noah was actually at MSG when the Knicks won, so he's been seeing it all for the last few days, and we'll continue to soak it up with all of us here, guys.
All right. Thank you, Max. And again, they're telling people to take their seats. That means that the program will be starting here soon. We're watching AOC take pictures right now in front of the podium there where all this is going to take place. Our coverage will continue in just a moment. Our coverage, of course, sponsored by Cowsey, Trade Anything, and by LifeVac, the #1 soaking rescue device. You're listening to 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. 1010 Wins.
When I need to know.
Traffic versus no traffic, so it's huge to know. Otherwise, you're thrown off by like an hour.
Helps me get to work.
1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Oh, no! USA's up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? I left eye switching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
Early payout from Bet365. I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? No, my right eye is switching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Congratulations to New York on bringing home the National Basketball Championship. We all saw the incredible saves of the game on the court, but the most important save, that happens at home, protecting your family from a choking emergency. When seconds matter, LifeVac is the ultimate save. It's the FDA-registered, clinically proven airway clearance device that has already saved thousands of lives. Go to lifevac.net to order yours today and use code RADIO at checkout to save 10%.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Knicks fans, this is not a dream. Your long wait has ended. The Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Now, 1010 Wins live coverage of the New York Knicks ticker tape parade continues.
The ticker tape is raining down. The floats are moving through the Canyon of Heroes. The players, the stars, the fans celebrating together like they've never done this before, because for Knicks fans, they've never done this before. Never has there been a championship parade for them. We've seen Martha Stewart, Spike Lee, Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan, to name a few of the celebrities. Our own celebs, Larry Mullins, Julia Papa, they've got a front row seat outside City Hall. And we saw the mayor, the governor on a float, the attorney general's down there. No one's really working here. You got that right, Kevin. In fact, let's go live right now, because the show now is starting to get underway. Listen to the brass scream. All right, they're an 8-piece band here, a couple of drums, and the rest are trumpets, tubas, and saxophone, and they're awesome. We heard them practice a little while ago. They're starting off the show. Pretty soon we're going to see some of the public officials file out. We'll have the mayor make some remarks, and of course we're going to see this team of the moment. We have celebrities that we've seen along the floats along the way, and Larry Mullins. This is just beyond special. People are now beginning to take their seats.
It really is. They've been making announcements for folks to take their seats, which gets us excited because it means the family members, the friends of these players will start to file in and sit down and prepare themselves to see these guys, this special group, receive that key to the city. They deserve it. They have been honest, even when others were saying, some of the sports groups or whatever were saying, they're not worth it, and it's just going to be another Knicks game. They're going to let us down. We're going to be heartbreaking. We call them the heartbreak Knicks. Well, they're not heartbreaking now. I tell you what, they're bonding a whole lot of hearts in this city and all over the world, for that matter.
You know, there was a lot of heart, it was mentioned quite often, because they were coming from behind. They never gave up. In all of these games, there was never, even though with a lot of sort of dirty play by the Spurs, sorry about that, but I had to say it. I've never seen such blatant fouls in my life. You know, come on, I watch a lot of basketball. What was that?
I picture you yelling at your TV. I picture you yelling at your TV.
Jumping up and down. Like, foul, blatant foul, flagrant foul.
Talk about coming from behind. What was it, 22 or 29 points? I was walking through the house thinking, oh, it's no big deal. You know, we'll give them one. We'll let them, you know, a gentleman's sweep or whatever. Someone texted me and said, my fingers are crossed. I said, what the hell are you talking about? They're losing the game. Because, it's doing it now. It was tied at 105.
That's right.
This is crazy. This is insane. But they came back and won that game, and I thought I would absolutely lose my...
After the celebration and everything that they had, and there was some empty champagne, I didn't even grab one for a memento. That's a rookie move by me.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. Is that A Boogie? The rapper A Boogie?
Oh, yeah, probably so. Oh, she's like, no, I got it. You can't hold it.
We got some fans that want to get a picture with the trophy. They all want to get selfies, but the cops there saying, not too close, not too close. Okay, we're going to take a quick 30-second pause here as we continue to wait for our Knicks to make it here to City Hall, where they will accept the keys to the city. We'll be right back, and you're not going to miss any pictures. We'll keep an eye on things so that you can too.
Everything looks great. Did I sign here?
No. It's a big day. Get the big pen!
The what?
Big pen!
Alright, I'm running up. Come on, Dad. We here, man.
Big pen coming through! Keep it steady, Gary!
I'm trying.
Your big
Hey, I need a big pen over here.
all over the place.
Well, is there? Welcome back to our live coverage of the Parade of Champions, celebrating our New York Knicks, who finally brought home a championship for New York City and other parts of the tri-state area and really all over the world, because we've seen people traveling here from out of state, out of the country even. We met a guy and his son traveled here from all the way from Australia because they wanted to be a part of this. So many people, such a world following for this team here, and here we are today. Let's talk more here, Otis, about Mike Brown.
Yeah.
You know, and the pressure that was made on him. I remember there was one point during our coverage of their season, and things were not looking good. And you were saying to me on set, this guy's got to turn it around. This is what he came in for. Otherwise, he might be a short timer.
Well, listen, when they fired Tom Thibodeau after getting to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since '99, I mean, that's pressure, right? I mean, you got right to the precipice of the NBA Finals. This guy was brought in to get you over that hump. There was a point in the season where they were struggling, and James Dolan said, we got to get this together. You know what I mean? So that ratcheted up the pressure. You know, he made all the right moves. He delivered, and that's not normal. And I had the pleasure of talking to him after they won, backstage. They were taking pictures with the trophy and everything, and he just kind of exhaled. And I said to him, great job. Did you know that you're the first African-American manager, head coach in New York City history, professional team, to win a championship? And he looked back at me and he was like, shocked. Yeah. But he said, thank you. I mean, it sent chills because what a man has stepped in a hornet's nest, or what could have been a hornet's nest. And remember, you were talking about it earlier. There was a point they were trying to run him up out of town in the playoffs.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and he landed it. He stuck the landing.
And we talk about players that, like if you think about it, New York is such a thing. We've had players in the history of this league that didn't want to come here.
Of course.
So for Mike Brown to accept that says a lot about Mike Brown too, because the others didn't.
Yep.
And he took on the challenge.
Yeah.
You come here to New York, you got to have some, you know?
Yes, sir.
It takes a special person.
Yeah,
you have to have special DNA, because we've seen people come through here and the media and the fan base just ate them up.
Yes.
They didn't last long, that's for sure.
And he wasn't the first choice, don't forget.
Right.
So they went down the list a little bit.
Right.
He's a two-time NBA Coach of the Year, though. I mean, he's a guy that has won, so you got to have that kind of, like you said, that intestinal fortitude to believe that you can be the one, because it was finals or bust. I mean, and only two teams get there.
In New York City.
Yeah, in New York City. So it was remarkable.
Let's check back in with Dick Brennan. He's here with us down at City Hall, just a step down below from where our vantage point is. And Dick, it's such a great view there behind you. We've got the Knicks banners, we've got the logos, we've got all of the players' numbers with their names behind you. It looks gorgeous here for a celebration.
Yeah, Christine, and it's really filling up too. And we've got Clyde over my shoulder. I'm going to talk about Doug Williams mentioned that he is indeed my idol. I have to tell you one fun New York story about Clyde. Which we all read when we were kids, Rockin' Steady, A Guide to Basketball and Fooled by Walt Frazier, to get the exact title. He said he thought the coolest people in the world were people who may recognize him from a distance, but don't say anything and just act cool. That was his definition of cool. So one time I get on the subway on 34th Street. I look down and there's okay. And then suddenly I wanted to say, hey, but then I said, oh no, I can't. So I just froze. I looked down at him. He glanced up at me. The train stopped at the next station. I started to walk out. He just looked at me and he nodded. And that was it. And I walked off and I said, Clyde thinks I'm cool. And that's it. And I've never approached him, and Otis knows this. I've never approached him in my entire life. And so as long as Clyde thinks I'm cool, I'm going to stick with that. That's it. I'm done. That's good enough, man. But let me tell you, though, I know Clyde, if he met you, he would be impressed, man. He would call you cool anyway. Yeah, as Doug Williams pointed out, he referenced me as that guy. So I'll take it for what it's worth. But what I'm describing is really what a lot of New Yorkers are feeling, and also about generations, of how Patrick Ewing
hey, about Stephon Marbury, if he remembers Marbury, and then you go to Carmelo, who I saw walk out the other night. It's generations of fans. It's fathers, sons, mothers, daughters who remember way back when. Maybe way back when, Christine, you said earlier about the little girls you interview, and they say, I've been a Knicks fan my whole life, and they're 11 years old. But that's what it's all about, and that's what this feeling is all about. It's all of us through the years with our team that hasn't changed, the Knicks.
And today's a culmination of 53 years, man, in the waiting. It's been a long road for the Knicks to see another championship win. The foundation of today's team laid by a mastermind who built a winning roster.
It's been 53 years, but for this moment, it was well worth the wait. A playoff run that'll go down in history, and a team that will live forever.
What's the first thing you do before building a new home? Hire an architect. And that's exactly what Knicks owner James Dolan did in 2020 when he hired former player agent Leon Rose to start over after his team had the worst record in the NBA the season before. His longtime confidant, William Worldwide West Wesley, joined him. Neither had ever worked for an NBA team, but both of them were around the association for a long time and had the Rolodex needed for the task at hand.
Thompson gets it, fires up a three. Shot no good, the challenge gone. It's gone. It's gone.
And this team wasn't built the traditional way through the draft. All their key players were brought in via free agency or through trades. The draft was most useful for them in the amount of picks they owned and then traded for key parts.
Brunson gets away from Castle, the floater's up and good! Jalen Brunson with another answer!
Of course, at the top of the list is the MVP, a former second-round pick himself. Jalen Brunson signed as a free agent in 2022. A $104 million contract most experts and fans he deserved.
Same thing Jalen's did, but what was the fight about? It was too slow, not athletic enough, too small, all those things that don't measure heart.
In 2023, the next starter was also acquired via trade, Brunson's Villanova teammate Josh Hart.
Oh,
They, of course, won the NCAA title together in 2016. Hart was a cast-off with 3 NBA teams before finding a home in New York and becoming the glue of this squad.
Hart takes. Hart tries another three-pointer. Oh, it's good! Knocks down another!
Nice forward. That's 6'7" from Indiana, number 8.
The next big trade, two-way star and another player with a championship pedigree, OG Anunoby, who came from the Toronto Raptors.
Anunoby, he's going to drive it. Anunoby with a grown man's jam.
In 2024, a blockbuster deal with the Nets and Rose's biggest gamble, Mikal Bridges, who was a final piece of the Villanova Knicks. Rose gave up 5 first-round picks in this trade.
Hart gets it right back to Bridges. Bridges puts up a three.
Bridges wins it at the buzzer.
Then came the Bodega Cat, the final member of the starting 5 to be acquired via trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves. The New Jersey native Karl Anthony Towns coming back to play for his hometown team.
Towns! 1 3 from Towns! Oh my! Karl Anthony Towns!
In fact, this was the only starting 5 for an NBA title team ever, where none of them were drafted by that team.
3 for the win!
And I feel like he brought us to an Eastern Conference final, and then we're going to get rid of him.
I think he's definitely almost wholly responsible for the culture change that we've experienced. So it's a little disappointing not to see him carry us the rest of the way.
But the final big move wasn't a player. It was head coach Mike Brown. After the Eastern Conference Finals loss to Indiana last year, Rose and Wesley made the bold and controversial move to fire Tom Thibodeau, who led the Knicks to a place they hadn't reached in a quarter century. Brown wasn't their first choice, or maybe the second or third, and many fans questioned the maneuver.
I look forward to working with Leon with our shared common goal of winning a championship.
But he was the final piece of his championship puzzle to get New York back to the top of the basketball mountain and a trip up the Canyon of Heroes.
Go ahead, cry
second 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Don't ever call out black people, bro.
What an amazing look back there.
And an important part of that piece was the Villanova guys, Brunson, Bridges, and Josh Hart. They were essential for this team to get to this point that we're at right now. And for more on that, let's go out to our own Steve Overmeyer, who's checking in with the Villanova Three.
Yeah, without a doubt, and we've got a lot of the fans here. They can't help it. They can't help it. If there wasn't enough confetti, you had to get more. You had to get more confetti. Didn't you? I had to. Yeah. I had to. I waited my whole life for this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Our story begins on the south side of Chicago. For me, it was here that hope took root. It's where I started knocking on doors, where I learned to listen and found my voice, where I fell in love with Michelle and built a family, and a community, and a home. From this place, our circle and our aspirations grew. Because the story of the South Side has always been a story of possibility. And now we start writing a new chapter. Today we open the doors of the Obama Presidential Center, a place rooted in this community and built on a simple belief that we can come together and create the change we seek. We is the single most powerful word in a democracy. We the people. We shall overcome.
All things are possible.
Yes, we can. We includes everyone. And this place does too. 19 acres in the heart of Jackson Park, where people can get inspired, where leaders get amplified, where you can connect with folks who live down the street or across an ocean. Here you can do more than reflect on change. You can become it. That's what the South Side taught us. It's what we taught our girls. What generations have passed down to their kids. That progress isn't bestowed from on high. It grows from the ground up. With hard work and courage and faith in each other. We've proven it before. Now let's do it again. Together.
Please welcome a leader who helped shape the vision of the Obama Presidential Center from the very beginning, a longtime advisor to President and Mrs. Obama, Chief Executive Officer of the Obama Foundation, Valerie Jarrett.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all of you who are here in Chicago, who traveled from near and far. Oh my goodness, you're here to celebrate with us, and many of you came through some pretty atrocious weather. And to everyone watching from home, this is a glorious day, and it is for all of you, and the sun is out. So we want you to enjoy the moment. Yes. I am thrilled to officially welcome you to the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. Now, this center is not a traditional museum, nor is today a traditional ribbon cutting. It's a day for music, for fun, and of course, it won't surprise you, for hope. Looking out at this fabulous crowd, I have to tell you, I am so tempted to sing my own rendition of Amazing Grace, but I think I'll save that for another day. Instead, I invite everyone to cheer and dance and get on your feet and enjoy yourselves. This is a campus for everybody, whether you live down the street or on the other side of the world. And we hope you are going to come back again and again. to President and Secretary Clinton, to President and Mrs. Bush, to President and Dr. Biden, all of our foreign dignitaries and elected officials who are here, we are honored by your presence. To our Obama campaign and White House teams, to our generous supporters, this day would not have been possible without you. To our neighbors who showed up to countless community meetings and shared their hopes and dreams, and yes, their concerns with us, we hope we have made you proud. To the thousands of talented folks who designed and built this magnificent campus and whose names are forever memorialized in the Forum building right behind me, thank you. To our board of directors, Marty Nesbitt, our chairman, all of the members of the board who provided exceptional oversight and guidance and support, and to my amazing team, whose dedication and commitment to excellence have made our programs, the center, and this celebration all exceptional. Thank you. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize the original inhabitants of the land upon which we are gathered today. We honor the Anishinaabe, the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi nations. And to our family and friends whose unwavering love and support help sustain us throughout this incredible journey, thank you. And lastly, thank you, Barack, Michelle, Malia, and Sasha for your grace and your service to this country, each in your own way. So I grew up on the south side of Chicago, riding my bike right through Jackson Park. This community is home to me, and it is home to the Obamas. I first met Michelle and Barack 35 years ago. They were engaged to be married. Malia and Sasha were a glimmer in their eyes, and they were just beginning their careers. They didn't know what path their lives would take, but they were both committed to a life of service. They were two very young and talented people who wanted to leave the world a little better than they found it. Now, a lot has obviously changed since then, and I'm not just talking about Barack's hair color. Sorry about that. But I'll tell you what has not changed. What hasn't changed is Barack and Michelle's devotion to family and friends. Their values, some of the same values we teach our young leaders: integrity, courage, imagination, resilience, and yes, empathy. And their unmistakable belief, their unshakable belief that to whom much is given, much is expected. I am so grateful to them for our deep friendship that has withstood the test of time and for bringing me along on this extraordinary journey. Now, of course, that history wasn't made by the Obamas alone. It was made by countless people upon whose shoulders they stand, and those who have stood by them through all the ups and downs, including many of you who are here today. People who refused to accept the status quo, who wanted to be part of something bigger and more important than themselves, and who came together to work towards a common goal. When I think about all that hard work and the purpose of this new center, it reminds me of a story about one of our former organizers, our field organizer, Ashley Baya. It was 2007, in the heat of the primary. I traveled to Conway, South Carolina, to try to convince a couple dozen undecided voters to support Barack Obama. Ashley, who was a 20-year-old white woman from Florida, greeted me pretty confidently as we walked in the room. And she kicked us off by sharing her personal story with the group. She told us that when she was 9 years old, her mom lost her job and her health insurance after being diagnosed with cancer. In order to help save money to pay for treatment, Ashley convinced her mom that she loved mustard and relish sandwiches. Yeah. So for a year, that's what Ashley found in her lunchbox. She told the group that she supported Barack Obama for a simple reason: he cared. He cared about making sure that all Americans could have essential and affordable health care. After Ashley spoke, we went around the room and each person talked about what they were there for, what they cared about. They wanted to hear about all kinds of things that the senator was proposing, his plans to create jobs, help veterans, save the environment. Then, about two-thirds of the way around the room, an older black gentleman said, rather matter-of-factly, "You know, I'm not here to listen to what you have to say about any particular issue. I'm here because of Ashley. I know her, I trust her, and because of her, Barack Obama has my vote." Ashley's here today. Where are you, Ashley? She's not going to stand up. Now we know there's a little bit of Ashley in all of us. Real change is not predestined, nor does it happen simply because of someone's title or station or status. Real change depends on trust. The kind of trust that was built between a young white woman from Florida and an older black man from South Carolina. That's what Barack's campaigns were all about. That's what Barack and Michelle's 8 years in the White House were all about. That's what the center is all about. This is not a monument to the Obamas, you guys. This is a tribute to all those who made their journey possible. Inside this museum and throughout this magnificent campus, you're going to find the stories of ordinary people who did extraordinary things. Stories that show the inevitable zig and zag of our efforts to perfect this nation, but that nonetheless paved the way for Barack Obama's presidency and everything achieved during his 8 years in office. This center is also a challenge to the next generation of changemakers because our work is never done. In the words inscribed on the outside of the museum building, we each have the glorious task of continuing to improve this great nation of ours. This center may be named for the Obamas, but it is built for you. So let's celebrate. There are thousands of people enjoying themselves right now on the Midway. So let's check in with our host who's in the middle of the action. Yeah, she's an actor, a producer, and one of the most influential voices of her generation. Marcy Martin. Take it over, Marcy.
Hello, y'all, back at the plaza. Hi, Valerie. Thank you, everyone. And yes, I sure am in the middle of the action. The crowd is electric over here. Make some noise. It feels like a whole cookout over here. We got the food truck. Music was going, the lawn chairs. We are having so much fun. I also have a bunch of amazing people over here that I would love to talk to because they have incredible stories. Now, okay, we'll start with you guys. What is y'all's names and where y'all came from?
Nadesh. I live here, but I'm originally from Congo.
Nice, nice.
My name is Claudia, and I just came all the way from Africa yesterday for this event.
Shout out to that! Wait, how long was that flight?
I took a first flight that was 6,000 miles, and the second one 4,000 miles. So in total, to 10,000.
That is incredible. Now, why was it so important for you to come to this event?
Because I had the incredible story. That was in 2008. I was studying journalism in Harvard. And what happened is that Barack Obama became a candidate, and I called my family in Africa, and I said, okay, you know what? I think I know who the next president's going to be. And it's inspired me a lot. And 3 years after that, I created the first American school in my country because of it.
I love that. So how has your time been in Chicago? Have you showed her anything? Any dope sites?
We'll try after the event.
After the event. He's like, there's an after party after the party. I get that. I get that. I love that so much. And how about you, Andre? Listen, this man's been dancing the whole time. Let me start by saying that. How are you feeling today?
I'm great. This is inspirational. This is fiery. I love America. I love Chicago, and I love the melting pot that we still are. And I so with the vision of America. Let's go.
Yes. What's like your go-to dance move for today? If you could describe like this whole event, what would be the move? Uh-oh. Okay, just a like oh, hey, we can do a little bit of that. Okay. Well, listen, we are having so much fun over here at the Midway. Keep up the spirit because history is happening right now. Looking forward to talking to a few more people in a little bit. Now back to you, Valerie.
Thank you, Marjay. And now I am excited to introduce our next performer. When we asked her to sing one of President Obama's favorite songs, she told us, well, I never sung it in public before. But she came up with a new arrangement just for this occasion, and we are so grateful. Please welcome multi-Grammy award-winning artist, Christina Aguilera. Where are you, Christina?
This is your Malika, guys.
See trees of green.
So, this is where I will be leaving you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. One love. Until the next time.